Fear is 1 inch deep, but 1 mile wide. Now, what does that actually mean? That means that, when you look at fear from a distance, when you see something that you're scared of from a distance, it's huge, it's big, it's wide, it looks massive. But when you actually step into it, it's never that deep. It's only 1 inch deep. You know what I mean? So these things that you're scared of, other people judging you, other people doing something, most of the time, about 99.9% of the time, it's never that deep. It's only your delusion that's holding you back. But, understand your nature, you guys. Humans, we evolved like this. We evolved to play it safe. And that's why we've gotten here today. That's why we exist today. Humans evolved to take the safe route, to preserve, to not do anything too risky to survive. You know what I mean? This is the way that we evolved. But you guys have to unwire that programming, because understand that the chances of you existing are 1 in 400 trillion. Let that sink in. Why would you care about what anybody else thinks when you existing in itself is a huge not even 1 in a million, not 1 in a billion, not 1 in a trillion, 1 in 400 trillion. 400 trillion? Do you know how many billions is in 400 trillion? Do you know how many 1 billion is? What about 1 million? Do you know how many millions are in 400 trillion? It's crazy, you guys. A lot of you, I'll sit here and say this, but, you'll never actually understand, the chances of you existing are so low that you might as well take all the risks that you possibly can. The safe route is really the dangerous route. Not talking to that girl, not starting that business, not going to the gym, not learning how to fight. That's the dangerous route. You think you're playing it safe, but in reality, you live once, you're going to be less healthy, you're going to be less happy. What's the point of doing all that when you only live once? Why would you want to live it miserably? Just get your feet a little dirty, go through a little bit of pain, go through a little bit of discomfort, so that you can have a much better, more fulfilling life, guys. What I want you guys to really understand, and I just want to tell you some of my stories. So, when I was 16, I started posting content on TikTok, and I was just posting about testosterone. I was learning about it, why it's important, etc. And I was saying that school lunch was beta, and I knew that what I was saying was right, but it was until I heard that other people at my school were judging me. And I don't know why, at the time, I cared too much about what other people thought. My ability to socialize definitely struggled because of COVID. I definitely wanted to seek more approval from people. And I feel like a lot of other people did the same. They just gossip, they want to fit in, they want to smoke, they want to drink, they want to fit in with what everybody else is doing, because they were locked in the house for years, not doing anything, you know what I mean? Not seeing anybody. That does really bad things to your mental health. And a lot of people, they want to fit in after going through that. So I understand why I did it now, but the quickest way to overcome you caring about what other people think is to naturally increase your testosterone, hands down. Naturally increase your testosterone, learn how to fight, and just throw yourself at discomfort. Throw yourself at pain. Throw yourself at uncomfortable situations. Not just, physically, really psychologically. Go talk to somebody, go talk to a stranger, go give somebody a compliment. Just do something that's good, but it's oh, I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? You have that feeling oh, what if I don't want to do that? You know what I mean? Step into that fear. Stepping into fear will make you realize how much of an illusion it is. Step into fear more often, and you're going to see that it's only 1 inch deep. It looks 1 mile wide, but when you step into it, you realize it's just a hologram. It's not really real. Now, I'm not telling you to go jump off a cliff. Obviously, that fear is there for a reason. But let's say you're skydiving, you know? There's a parachute. You know that if you're going to talk to a girl, she's not going to shoot you or something. You know that if you talk to a girl, the worst that she can say is no. She can't really do too much. So what if she hurts your feelings? It is what it is. You're a man. Get over it. Biggest thing that made me really stop caring what other people think was my best friend passing away last summer. And he was one of the most brave, influential people that I possibly knew on this earth. He was 17 at the time, but he was also on this journey of, increasing your testosterone. He didn't care what other people thought. He was brave. He was a leader throughout his entire life. You don't know how much time you have left. If he passed away at 17, what does that say? That like just knowing somebody so deeply who just passed away at 17, it makes you really question yourself. It makes you question how much time you have left. It makes you question that could be me. You know what I mean? Like this friend of mine, like he was like probably one of the most similar people to me, one of the people that I related to the most. He was like my best friend Josh. He was my next door neighbor. Me and him, we both had German dogs. I have a Doberman. He has a German Shepherd, and like, just something like that happening, it makes you really question how much time that you have left. It makes you question, why you're actually here, what you're here for. It's extremely painful, and it makes you question everything. It makes you question like why, you know? Like seeing somebody like that alive, that youthful, that brave, from that to passing away and having no life at all, it's really scary. It is. But like it's inevitable for everybody. So that's the point that I'm trying to make, you guys. You should never care about what other people think. And me telling you this, maybe it's not enough, but you will understand when you actually see something like this in real life. When you see somebody pass away that you know in real life. And don't think that it can't happen to you. I'm not wishing anything upon you guys, but at the end of the day, time is going to pass. We're not here forever. People pass away. It's going to happen. It happens to everybody. So, me telling you guys this, work to become your best self. Do not let anybody's opinion of you, do not let anybody's assumption, do not let anybody's doubts or expectations for you hold you back from what you really want for yourself. You want the best for yourself. Everybody watching this, you in your mind, you know that you want the best for yourself. Nobody else is going to want it for you. Nobody else wants to see you do better than them. They don't, because it shows them what they're capable of, but what they chose not to do. Nobody wants to see you do better than them, guys. That's the truth. The most real people, they want they want to see you win. People who are truly winning, they want to see you win as well. They see it as competition. It makes them go harder. You know what I mean? They don't get insecure because they know that they're not doing anything. You know? So really understand that, you guys. Don't care what other people think. Your time here is so limited. It's so limited. Let's say like you only live until 30. That means that some of you watching this, like, you could pass away at 30. What are you going to leave behind? Why do you care what other people think? Why do you care what other people have to say? Let them say whatever they want to say. Because at the end of the day, it's really about what you leave behind. And that comes from risk. Making an impact in a short amount of time, that comes with a lot of sacrifice, a lot of risk, a lot of not caring what somebody else is going to say about you. That's what it comes from, you guys. But let me tell you, I used to care about what other people think. That's the only reason that I'm telling you guys this. I used to care so much about what other people think. And, after my best friend passed away, in high school, I didn't wrestle my senior year. My junior year, I did really good at wrestling to the point where I got offers for college just off my junior year. So I went to college. I went to a JUCO because my grades were trash. But I ended up getting a full ride to a JUCO, the number 2 in the country. And you know what I mean? Like, I wrestled there because I wanted to, like, really lock in. I wanted to, upgrade as a person, fight hard, because I was 18, like I'm 19 right now. I'm in the highest testosterone that I'm ever going to have. I'm in my peak of my health. I'm basically in the peak of my health right now. Being at 19 years old and coming from a upbringing of wrestling, like, it made sense for me to continue wrestling. I wanted to go D1. I wanted to take this normal traditional school route, but I never really wanted to go to school, but I had offers. And guys, like at the time, like deep down, I knew that before I went to school, like I wanted to get into sales. I wanted to do door to door. I knew that school was never really going to serve me. Because even in high school, like I knew that college wasn't that different, except you're paying for it. You're paying for it. You're around people who are smoking, drinking. Maybe you get a degree, but guess what? I was in school. I was applying to every single accounting internship that I possibly could, from Maryland to DC to Baltimore. I applied to like 100 of them. So I was actually trying to use my degree. But you guys, like, I was actually working extremely hard on that degree. And something I realized is like, you would not even be getting paid by your major. I wouldn't even be getting paid to do accounting until I was like a junior or a senior. So that means I would spend 2 to 3 years studying accounting before I even could get an internship that paid 25 bucks an hour. What sense does that make? So that's what you guys have to understand. Like everything happens for a reason. You shouldn't care what other people think. You should take risks. So another thing.